Good evening. Welcome to the Glazov gang. Our gang members this evening, Jim Tooey, producer, actor, and playwright. Nonie Darwish, modern-day freedom fighter and the author of the new book, The Devil We Don't Know, The Dark Side of Revolutions in the Middle East. And last but not least, the irrepressible Evan Sayet, America's #1 conservative comedian. Glazov gang members, welcome to the program.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
And as you remember, all of you are members now, but all Glazov gang members, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never...
I'm going to guess leave.
Leave the show.
Is that getting old? Before we move forward,
Yes.
Evan,
Yes.
you've got a great show coming up in Westlake Village on March 25th, a night of conservative comedy. We encourage our viewers to go to evansayet.com to learn more about it. How about a couple seconds about your show, Evan?
It's just, I know sometimes people think they've seen me because I speak at different events, but that's where I give my serious lectures. This is my night of conservative comedy. It's 3 of us, actually 4 of us, because one of them's a comedy troupe, and it's from beginning to end conservative comedy. We rip apart the left.
Okay, so you have a funny side to you, but you're also an intellectual, right?
That's correct, and you can't tell which one's which sometimes.
evansayet.com. Nonie, something happened lately. I know a lot is happening, but tell us very briefly some trouble you've experienced with people trying to silence you.
Yeah, well, whenever I speak on college campuses, which I do every semester, I speak at around 3 campuses, and the protesting against me is really accelerating, and it's being, directed by the Muslim Student Association CARE.
Trying to silence you.
To silence me, and they want to just claim that I am a hate monger of Islam, of Muslims, when all I speak about is the ideology and not the people.
And standing up for the persecuted people under Islamic gender apartheid,
and
etc.
Sharia and oppression of Sharia.
Nonie, thank you for being so brave and for standing up for the persecuted and under the Islamic Iron Curtain and in that part of the world. And Jim Tooey, producer, actor, and playwright. What are you up to lately?
Well, I just finished a film with Misha Barton last month. She was on EOC, and it's I Will Follow You Into the Dark, and it's due out in the fall.
Wow, fantastic. What an honor to be joined by you, Jim. He's done some amazing work. Let's take a look at it.
Be my girlfriend?
What do you mean?
She's a beautiful woman.
Are you with us on this problem?
What man wouldn't want a piece of
You know what I mean? Huh? I'm a nice guy. And besides, I'm good friends with Milo. You're good to me. I'm going to let him know.
To police?
Policeman? What would a policeman be doing in a place like this?
Tony, get him some fries and a strawberry shake. No scam, you don't know you're coming.
Motherfucker! Fucking boy!
Well, it all started yesterday. I was driving to work when this hooker walked up to my car, just like she does every day. I figured I'd do some stuff with her that my wife don't. So I pull out this toy. I think she's really gonna like it. I was gonna use lubrication.
Now, come on now. Huh? I'm not gonna bite, yeah? When I get back, I get a couple rolls of duct tape and a shovel in the trunk of my car. And then you're really gonna see what a party's about.
Wow, great work, Jim. Fantastic. An honor to be here.
I've done some amazing work too, and you never show it on the air. What's this about?
You know what?
You don't
That's
get
coming
killed
up.
as many times as I do.
That's coming up. And now we turn to the serious part of the Glazov gang. Terrible event recently in Afghanistan. An American soldier went on a shooting spree, killing innocent Afghan men, women, children, etc. We don't know that much about it, except that this is horrible for the United States, obviously a terrible thing for the innocent people that died and their families. One angle I would like to put on this is it's incredible how in the Western media, when this happens, this is on the front page of the New York Times, but when Afghan civilians are killing American soldiers, when Afghans are putting acid on young girls' face, this is not in our media. This, there seems to be a double standard here in terms of what the liberal media is reporting on. But having said that, Jim, what's your take on this?
What I didn't like about the whole thing, before anybody heard anything, the president came out and said he will pay. he will be tried. I'm like, wait a second. Anybody that's been back to Afghanistan 3 and 4 times, you're talking about a mental illness going on there. This didn't happen just on a spur of the moment. They just killed 2 American soldiers, shot him in the back. Maybe he snapped. You know something? And all of these soldiers are coming back. You know that there are more suicides now than there were people killed in the war in Afghanistan. That the soldiers are coming back. They're all killing themselves.
And Jim, what exactly is happening here? We had Panetta go over there. He asked the American soldiers to disarm while he was giving the speech. Evan, what's all that about?
Well, it's all about a sense of political correctness. But you mentioned.
Are they afraid that a soldier might try to shoot them?
No, not in the slightest. I think it's supposed to be symbolic that look, we've disarmed. We're not so bad. You've got nothing to worry about. Blah,
but they
blah,
didn't
blah, blah.
disarm. We disarmed. They didn't disarm. I mean,
Right.
so I don't understand what that's about.
Look. In any population, and you're talking about how many hundreds of thousands of people, probably close to 1 million, have circulated in and out of the region over the course of the last 10 years or so. In any population of 1 million people, you're going to have somebody who snaps, whether it's in our schools it happens, in the post office it happens. The fact that this one guy did this horrible thing, it's horrible. But the idea that it's in any way indicative of Americans or American servicemen or of our mission over there, it's ridiculous.
But in terms of our quote-unquote mission, isn't this all a disaster? How many
Again and again.
How many American boys and girls have given their lives?
Maimed.
Were hated over there.
Right.
The trainers, the army trainers are being shot, and they want us out of there. Is this whole thing a disaster?
It's a double standard. Like the standards for America is that high, and the standards for the Arab world and the Muslim world is that low. And they got used to it. See, they can burn and kill and behead our soldiers. And I never hear any Arab leader apologizing.
Yeah, you don't see Karzai apologizing to Obama.
I don't see any Muslim
Right.
after 9/11.
Or even Muslims killing Muslims. How many bombs
Right.
have been set off and there's no sense of
nobody-
outrage? But
it's
burn one Quran and
Yeah,
make so
and by
insane.
the way, Saudi Arabia burns the Qurans of the Shiites. This is a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
Like they.
So if they do it, we don't report on it.
They erupt into crazy behavior. They burn and kill and go to embassies. And
Nonie, draw a
shoot.
cartoon and they go into crazy behavior.
But they are
Cartoon.
doing the same thing.
Yeah.
The government of
And they're
Saudi
not held
Arabia
to
is
account.
burning Qurans.
Yeah, and we don't see any of this in the media.
But
But look,
The
this is all a
basic,
disaster.
the whole, what it comes down to is the United States is not addressing what's happening to our soldiers, the post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes.
They're not addressing it. They're not paying attention to them, and they're not paying them. They just cut them all loose so they couldn't
Besides,
be
this
disabled
is war.
and get back into society. They need money to function and this and that. And at the same time, banks are foreclosing on their house. What kind of America do we live in? That's what I want to know.
But Jim, what do you think about this whole mission in Afghanistan? Do we agree that in the beginning we needed to go in to dislodge the Taliban because they were housing Al-Qaeda and the people that perpetrated 9/11? Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that, but what I don't
Should we
agree
have left
with
right away?
is how come we let them produce their heroin. The poppy fields are flourishing now. Why? That funds the Taliban.
It will always.
We're cutting our nose off to
We'll
spite our
never-
face.
It
Right.
Will, it will always be like that. Afghanistan will not change.
Right.
Even if we stay there for another 10 years.
Another 10 years, they're never gonna
The
change.
thing is, Afghanistan was harboring Al-Qaeda. All our mission should have been taking out
Right.
Al-Qaeda and get the hell out of there.
But wait a
How do you
minute. If
keep
we
Al-Qaeda
take
from
out
returning at that
Al-Qaeda,
point?
They'll come back.
if you take out Al-Qaeda, you leave, they come back.
They will come back, but they're already back. They're in Yemen. They will always find another place to
They'll always find another
relocate.
place.
So how do we fight this enemy?
We can't, because there is about 54 Muslim nations, and many of them are poor, and many of them are radical, and they will house Al-Qaeda. Sudan. It could be Afghanistan.
Yeah.
It could be Pakistan.
But you don't have to-
It could be Yemen.
You don't have to win this war. Maybe this war isn't winnable. What you do is you try to weaken the enemy as much as possible.
Do you believe that we went over there for that, or do you believe that Why were the Russians there for 20 years? You know why they were there? Does anybody know why?
Yeah,
the
because
Russians
they wanted to get closer to a warm water port, and that was one more
to run
link
the
in
pipeline.
the chain.
To run the pipeline out of Siberia to a warm water port. Guess what? That pipeline is still pumping oil, isn't it? Okay, out of Russia. And who's protecting it? Maybe we're protecting it. Maybe that's what it's all about. We're over there. And it's all about money.
Okay. You know what I think it might be about is baseball cards.
Okay.
Because, they have baseball cards over there, too.
What do you think it's
All right,
about? Why do you
okay.
think the Russians were there?
Okay.
But we're not the Russians.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the first part. You all of a sudden become the advisor of Barack Obama with the last few months in office before this election. He says to you, Jim, I don't know what to do right now in Afghanistan. What do you tell him?
Get out of there.
You mean right now?
Get
this
out
moment?
right now. Get out of there now.
But
cut your losses and bring the money home to this country.
But isn't there a smarter way to do it? Perhaps a gradual phase.
No, there's nothing. We're done there. How long have we been there?
Well,
how long have
since
we been
we
there?
went in 2001,
You know,
2002. Go ahead.
2000. What is it?
To
How
me,
long?
it's irrelevant how long we've been there, or not how long, or how much it costs, how much it doesn't cost. Either it's right or it's wrong.
What would you tell Obama?
What I tell Obama is, look, we have successfully protected the American people for how many years now? Since then,
Perhaps by fighting them over there, we don't have to fight them.
It wasn't just 9/11. It was the USS Cole. It was the first. There are all kinds of attacks that just are not taking place for some reason, and perhaps that's part of the reason.
Okay, Nonie?
Our existence in Afghanistan is a strategic thing because it's on the border of Iran and Pakistan.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we have to stay for that reason, just in case we need to fight Iran in the future, or we need to fight Pakistan if Pakistan falls in the hands of
at least the
Islamists.
drones were working.
The one thing you always have to keep in mind.
The war is so expensive because
we will
this is
continue and discuss this tomorrow evening. Join us
Contract.
tomorrow evening for the second segment of the Glazov Gang.